Welcome our last grouping of the afternoon, and that is Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick from 2311. Okay, if you have a question for either Tyler or Bubba, please raise your hand, and we'll get you a mic. We'll start in the back with Michael, and then work our way up.
It's bright up here.
Sonny's dog. You got to get that Maui Gym sponsorship.
Michael Massey, the front stretch. I won't ask you guys about your hair like we all just asked Joey about. So new for this year, the forecast looks great, and knock on wood, we don't have to worry about it all this weekend. But rain tires for short tracks are new for this year. What do you guys think about that, and how prepared do you feel if it comes down to that?
Did you do the Martinsville test?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, the driving aspect of it is really fun. It's a new challenge. Just the biggest thing is visibility for me. With 3 cars out there, I couldn't see where I was going, and obviously that'd be a lot worse with a full car field. So that's the number one thing that comes to mind, and they're still working on that. But the driving part of it, I had a lot of fun with. The Martinsville test, we were not very good when it was dry. When it was wet, we drive away from the other guys. So I think the driving part of it's fine. It's just the visibility. Hopefully we can work on, but it's a challenge that all forms of motorsports face when there's rain. There's spray from the cars, and that's just part of it.
He's ready for the rain anyways with his suit, the way it's cut, so his suit won't get wet.
Sports car guy.
Zach?
Zach Sterniel, NASCAR.com. But first for you, last year seemed like a big momentum year for you. Obviously, you get the win at Kansas, but you get some playoff experience with the owner's point situation as well there. Heading into this year, where's your confidence at in your abilities as a driver? How much did you feel like you grew from throughout the course of last year?
Yeah, I would say, this is the most excited I am for a season to start, just because of the momentum we were on last year, all the changes that we've made in the off season. It's shaping up to be hopefully our best year yet. We've been able to win the last 2 seasons, but at the wrong time. We need to win before the playoffs, get in the playoffs, and make a good playoff run, which I think our team is totally capable of doing now. And we've had the right people in place. Our mentality is there. Our work efforts are there. So I just have to do my job and go out and start this year off right. And so as much as this race is about bragging rights, your season starts here today for practice, qualifying. It shapes up everything. So you only hope now with the way that everything's structured, no practice, or you get practice, but it's not like before where you can wholesale the car if you needed to. You hope you unloaded the right way off the truck and it's somewhat close to where you can tinker with. So it's been fun working with Booty, continuing to grow with him, and just push that leadership throughout our team.
And Tyler, for you, what's this transition to 2311 been like over this off season? And it certainly seems as they're getting all their pieces in place as a team, it seems like you're coming in at the right time. Does it feel that way? And what's this transition been like?
It's been a huge one, but everyone on the team side, everyone at Toyota has been really, really welcoming and inviting. It's really made it feel like home very early on, and certainly, as it all was shaking out, this is a little bit earlier than we thought it was going to happen, but I'm definitely really glad the switch happened when it did. The team's got a lot of exciting things, and they're growing at a great pace, and the vision that the ownership group has, Denny has, as from the driver's point of view, everyone that they've put in place around the team, it's in a great spot. So I'm really excited about what this year is going to mean for me and Bubba and really everybody that's a part of the organization.
Go up here to the front.
This question's for Bubba. After a disappointing result last year, was there any tweaks that you made in preparing for this year, or anything you did differently when preparing and practicing?
For this race?
For this race,
yeah. It was a brand new car. We were all figuring it out, and we unloaded with our speedway setup. No, it's just we didn't know much, and what we thought was right wasn't. We had to scrap our way and battle our way into the final there, and it worked out, but nothing really to brag about. So the meetings that we've had prepping, it's like, man, there's nothing we can go back and look on to lean on. We've really been leaning on Tyler. He was fast last year up until he wasn't. And so all that time we use, and hopefully it'll be better.
Any other questions go up here, and then Luis.
Hi, Bubba. What does it mean to you to be performing out here in South Central Los Angeles in front of African American and people of color?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think it's, like I said this time last year, getting into a market where it's so diverse and exposing our sport to new eyeballs, new faces, it's important. We have to continue this trend, whether it's here in LA or we move this to somewhere else, whatever it may be. I think this is a start for changing the face of NASCAR, and it's fun to be a part of that. And for me, just to go out and compete and represent our sponsors, represent our team. You got MJ watching, so everybody knows who MJ is, and so we got to do it right.
Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Kingdom.net. For both of y'all, I've been asking. You've done some tests in the off season. But it's the off season's officially over now. You guys are here. Are y'all ready to get back in the car? And has it been a good off season to get started for 2023?
Yeah, it's been a really good off season. Obviously, I stayed really busy. Bubba had a lot going on too, more so on the personal side of things he had to take care of. So, yeah, a lot of preparation, but so it really flew by, I'd say, from my perspective. But we got a lot of things done. The team really got to make spend the off time the right way, working on the things I wanted to. But certainly, as we were coming in here, all of us were just beyond ready. We were really chomping at the bit to get back on the racetrack. Really excited about it and seeing where the gains were made, especially here as as he mentioned, where the struggles were. So really excited about that. Felt like what we had in the simulator was really, really close, and we'll see shortly.
I'm
sorry, Bubba.
Oh, sorry. She'd be getting mad at me, but my wife and I, say that now, had a great off season. But there was no off season because we were too busy getting married. And after we got back on our honeymoon, it was 2 weeks before this weekend. And so I felt like there was no time off. I felt like Phoenix was just yesterday. But like Tyler said, it was all for the right reasons. We had a great time, and I'm a married man now, so it's good.
Go up to the front.
Luis Torres, the podium finish. This question is for Tyler. Of course, last year, you up until the DNF, you had a strong car, a strong showing, obviously, with a new team now. Do you feel like what you learned from last year will transition to this year, or because now that we have a year into the current car, it's going to be a different ball game?
I definitely think the knowledge that everyone has learned from the clash last year, whether that was doing the right things or as unfortunately the team did last year, learning the wrong or bringing the wrong things, learning from that. But yeah, just everyone's learned a lot about this car. There was some other things people just don't know what the car can handle, what you can push, what you can't. So I think the race could look. I expect it to be a lot different than it was last year. But for me, I really try and lean on what I was able to find while we were here last year. But certainly, with a new team, new manufacturer, we really had to go to work and try and figure out where we were going to have our cars when we showed up. And the team did a great job. When we were working on it, it seemed like right from the get-go that, from my perspective, the cars drove really good, and about as good as what the cars last year did on the simulator. So we'll just have to wait and see pretty soon.
Go to Jeff.
Could a format where there's like a legit, LCQ and people missing the show be replicated at other, paved tracks in NASCAR, or does it have to be short enough, like here to have a real reason for it?
Points paying racing, I don't really know, but the idea of doing this and having the main event be shorter, I think could work. You use up close to the same amount of time, but with a different format, it's different. If we had more exhibition type races, I think we could do that and have fun with it. You get to some of these bigger tracks, you can't really just go in there. It's pretty difficult to go in there and move someone out of the way for that last spot in the show, right? Without like destroying their car completely. So who knows? Maybe it'll work somewhere. I'm open to it. I'm open for anything though.
Zach.
For either one of you guys, I'm curious the product on track this year. Last year there was so much kind of hesitancy just because of so many unknowns, trying to conserve the cars themselves. How much different can tomorrow night's race look, knowing what the teams know, but also can that aggression level be higher this year, just having more parts and pieces available?
Well, I think I was in the last chance race, and I don't think anybody was being hesitant in that one. So I think going from where we're at now, moving forward, we're in a much better spot for every team, really. Still feel like we're behind, but think we're all in that same boat. You know, seeing race cars on the shop floor is kind of scarce right now. But all in all, I think we could just go out and compete. We talk about that in these settings here, talking to you right now. But when you strap the helmet on, you got to do what you got to do to win races and go out and compete and put your sponsors and teams up front.
Any final questions for either Bubba or Tyler? We'll wrap up over here.
We must have to evacuate, so make it quick.
How do you prepare for a race like this? I know this is probably a little bit smaller than your average NASCAR track. So what's kind of like the differences? How do you approach a race like this?
Yeah, both Tyler and I spent some time on the sim, so it's all virtual for this. I have to go back to 2019 or 2007, 6, 7 when we were in legend cars around on tracks this size. You know, this was a big track for a legend car sometimes, and so I spent a lot of my career racing legend cars and kind of getting that feel. So, but simulation work as of recent, running as many laps as you can to get a comfortable feel, make a little bit of tweaks here and there to adjust for your needs. But other than that, it's just show up and get some laps in practice.
Tyler, Bubba, media, thank you. Sorry about that announcement there. Appreciate your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you.